Hello everyone, this is me Chineze, and we are here to talk about how to achieve our reading goal. Now I know that early this year when you were writing your goals, you were like, I'm going to read so amount of books, and that's beautiful. But I imagine by now you're probably thinking, okay, so I haven't read any book much anyway, or you've totally even forgotten about the goal. But anyway, it's all good. That's why we're here. I'm going to help you to achieve your reading goals. Now let's begin. Okay, so first of all, you want to start you want to start by having a reading goal. Like, there's a long-term reading goal, then there's a short-term reading goal. The long-term is I want to read, let's say, 52 books in a year. I use 52 because there are 52 weeks in a year. So one book in a week. Does that make any sense? So a book a week means 4 books in a month. 4 books in a month. How would you achieve this? Set a goal. So write it down. 4 books in a year. Write it on a piece of paper. I prefer to write on a piece of paper and I stick it on the door. Stick it somewhere where you can see it. It could be on the wall, it could be on the door, it could be anywhere, but somewhere you can see it consistently for a long time so that you would remember that that goal is there, right? So set the goal to begin with. That's number 1. Number 2 is have a reading plan. I don't think it could ever be overemphasized. Especially for us, the city folks that live in Lagos, our daily activities take over everything that we do. You know, from doing this, from doing work, from there, and sometimes some of us are stuck in traffic. I was literally in traffic for 4 hours day before yesterday. It wasn't funny. So it's like you're there and that's it. Your life takes over you, and that's how you just don't read. But you see, all your daily activities actually do help you with everything you need to do every day. But then what happens to your mind? The need to exercise your mind cannot be overemphasized. You need to exercise your mind. You need to be able to know more. You need to be able to do more. Okay? But you cannot do when you don't even know. How will you know if you don't read? So we need to read. Back to the reading. Now, have a reading plan. Now, a reading plan is a little different from your reading goal, because just like how I said, you said you want 4 books you're going to read 4 books in a month. Now, the reading plan is how will you then read the 4 books in a month? Now, there are different ways. There's some simple ones. Some people say 10 minutes a day. I've actually met a few people that say, oh, I read like 10 minutes a day these days. They try to finish, read 10 minutes a day. I have this Babanla brother that reads one chapter a week. Sorry, 1 chapter a day. Like, that is like a goal for me right now. I really want to get to the point where I read 1 chapter a week. But I am still stuck on 10 minutes a day. But here's what happens when you read 10 minutes a day. That's, you can put on a time thing. You can say 2 hours a day, 1 hour a day, or you can do 10 pages a day, or 20 pages a day, or you can do 1 chapter a day. Those are all reading plans you get. Now, to execute these reading plans, it makes sense that you put yourself on a reminder. But let me finish. There's one reading plan that I found the most effective so far, even though I haven't followed it for more than, I've done it on 1 book, but I haven't followed it for more than 1 book. That is sharing the pages in your book. So now, if you want to read let's say if you want to read a 14-page, that's very small, but let's say, okay, 140-page book in a week, you divide 140 pages by 7. That gives you about, what's 140 pages? Oh, I wish I had a calculator here. But that gives you about a certain amount of pages that you get to read every day. So that is what a plan is. So you plan on how you are going to execute this goal that you have. So first, have the reading goal to begin with. An example of a reading goal is 4 books in a month, or you can even do 1 book a month. Really, your own speed, your own books, whatever. That's number 1. 2, have a reading plan. A reading plan is how will you then achieve this goal. Now, I have to touch a bit on the type of books that you can pick up and not pick up. I wouldn't tell you what book to read or not. You know what your interests are. You get, but I'll just say, just be reading. Whatever it is you lay your hands on, be reading, but be open to buying more books. A lot of people say, oh, books are so expensive they cannot buy, but trust me, you don't want to pay the price of ignorance, of not knowing. So it's really annoying when there was a book that could solve a challenge that you had some time ago that really made you feel very defeated, and that's something that could have easily been taken care of if only you just sat down and read this book. But you wouldn't know because you don't even read to begin with. So please be open to buying books. Now, the kind of books that you can read really is up to you. Some people like leisure reading, some people prefer to read more novels, read more, some people like to read history, some people like to read, but for people like us, entrepreneurs, we're asked to read at least 2 times our age. That's as the beginning. Read 2 times. If you're 40 years old, read at least 80 books on entrepreneurship. Do you understand? You can read biographies, you can read how-to books, you can read the history of a particular thing. Just keep reading. Open your mind, open your mind, open your mind. Sometimes in reading, you even start to discover the things that you like more. But what you don't want is to just not know. That's a no-no. Please get to a point where we read. We need you to read so that we can make better decisions. So you have to get disciplined, and you have to stay disciplined. Just because you did not do well the last time does not mean that it's not going to work. It's going to work. You have to just keep trying. Try again. Okay, so in the spirit of being disciplined, okay, set a timer on your watch. Okay, now, first of all, I would say know your best times to read. Okay, now I feel like the best times are like your luxury times. For people like us, like for me, I have a daughter. My luxury time is to read in the morning, right? But the thing is that I have a kid. I have to get her ready to go to school. I cannot say this is my luxury time and it's time for me to read. No, I have to get baby girl ready to school and take her to school. So the thing is that find your luxury time, right? Then find the time that works best for you in your own daily activities. So more often than not, I tend to read at noon when I'm done with most of the major things I have to do at work. You get, then I can pick up my book and I'll start reading. I start my 10 pages then, and then if I have more time during the day, I can try and read more, and just like that, I keep going and going and going. Now, the faster you read a book, the more you absorb from the book, because you remember everything. If you read a book once and then wait another 2 weeks to start again, you have a tendency to forget. You might actually want to go back and what was it that happened here? What was it that they said? I don't know if you understand. So don't do it like it's a textbook. Remember that you're reading because you're trying to understand and you're trying to get it. So set timers on your devices. Give yourself a timer. Most devices, contrary to what a lot of us might believe, the most basic, the most simple device that you have will you'll be able to set a timer. There's in the alarm area, the watch area or the clock area, there's an alarm, there's a stopwatch, there's a timer, and then there's a wall clock. Some have wall clocks, some don't have wall clock. But most times go there, find the timer and set a time, or find the alarm, use the alarm. Okay, set an alarm saying at 2 p.m. every day it should ring, and then right below it, time to read. Then you get up and you start reading. It's actually very, very, very simple. It cannot be overemphasized how simple this thing is. So do that, and you'll be able to achieve your reading goals. And when you do things like sharing your pages, use your bookmarkers. Bookmarkers will help you a lot. Don't do that thing where you fold the edge of the page. Don't do that. You want your book to have as much wear as possible. Now, that is for us that are using the analog, the physical books. I'm still a little old school. I still prefer that. If you're reading an e-version, there are bookmarks that you can use there. So use bookmark and mark every page so that you can know when you pass a goal, and celebrate yourself when you pass those goals, so that you will feel good about yourself and you'll be gingered to read more and to achieve more. I cannot overemphasize the need for you to pack your brain, the need for you to exercise your brain. That's that deal where it's just like, it's just there. And I used to go to those people that say, me reading is not my thing, and it was almost like a proud thing, like, oh, I know they read. My dear, you need to read. Okay, get your things together and you need to read. So that's it. So just try and stay in charge of your life. I've said it before in a formal video. You are more in charge of your life than you might be willing to know. Don't do that victim thing where it's like, oh, life is happening to me, blah blah blah. No, life is not happening to you. You can decide what you will do to life yourself, what you will do with your life. Because right now it sounds cool, but as we get older, by the time you're hitting 70 and 60, you don't want to look back and say, oh, how I wish that I did this, how I wish I did that. And it's just because you did not discipline yourself to get up and do something. So it's me again, Nez. Subscribe if you love my video, and please let me get feedback from you on how your reading goals are going or how your reading journeys are going, and together we will read more, we would know more, and we would make better decisions. Thank you.